Brandon, you're a homeowner.
Yes, I am. I don't like it. It's scary. Oh, the experience of actually now having a house and all the adult business you've got to do with it. It's definitely like a steep learning curve for like someone who's sort of lived like a semi-sheltered life, to be honest.
You otaku.
I really am, because like this weekend, I went to B&Q and I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go buy some paint. And then I spent like £100 on paint. I was like, and like literally had to shed a tear for how much everything is. I think literally between buying cleaning supplies, paint, and furniture for the house, oh my god, it's so depressing seeing how empty my bank is now.
Yep, I know that feeling. I went IKEA yesterday, bought furniture, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like a proper adult, but I can't wait to put this furniture in my room. It's going to look so good. I bet you're like that with a whole house. It's going to look great.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, everyone who's come around so far to actually see it, like family-wise, has said once we're done sort of making it homely, they all think it's going to look pretty decent. So, we've got our fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, I think it will.
Plus, you get an entire 2 months worth of cheaper bills before they go up in April.
Indeed.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Because obviously, like I said, I've had a very sheltered life. I don't know what is a good value for a bill. Because I keep hearing the horror stories of like, oh my god, it's like people who can't afford anything. But I'm just like, can I get away with spending less than £2,000 a month for living? So I don't know. I literally know nothing.
Just live in blissful ignorance. Everything will be okay.
That's literally what I do. It's completely ignorant of the world. Like, it's going to be a shocker when I find out how much it is to buy, like, food. Because last time I bought food, like, a proper weekly shop was when I was at uni. And obviously, living by myself, I could get away with, like, 30 quid a week or 30 quid a fortnight? But obviously... What?
But now it's...
But now I've got, like, another person with me. So it's just like, is that going to double to 60? I don't know. Because I know, like, the cost of everything's just going up.
Yeah.
Like, milk. I remember, like, 4 pints of milk being £1. I went to Tesco's and, like, £1.30. I was like, yeah.
When that dreaded Tesco Meal Deal goes up, you know there's going to be a riot.
Yeah, that is literally going to cause a riot.
I've never seen the streets packed with angry people.
Angry people looting Tesco Meal Deals and nothing else.
It's the last day they're going to be £3. Get them while you can.
What do we want? BLTs. When do we want it? Now.
Lunchtime, not now.
Oh, that too. yeah. It's the thing though. If you go in later on, there might be reduced to clear. So, and you need every penny you need.
Oh, I used to love the reduced to clear section when I was a student. I think one of the best things I got. All right, this is completely off topic considering we're like a gaming podcast. But I think I went into Tesco's and at one point, I think I got a pack of liver for like 8p. And I was just like, I love my liver, but 8p for a pack of liver, so that's all I ate for that night. It was just a big pack of liver.
You know what this means, don't you? Tesco deliver.
Deliver. Oh, but that was so good. Like, when you go shopping at like midnight and there's just everything that's reduced to clear, it's so good.
Welcome to Victory Achieved Podcast, a video game podcast. I am Dan, and I'm with the new homeowner, Brandon.
Hello.
And the not new homeowner.
And then runner Chris.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, this is an absolute fail. and the lovable Chris.
Wow.
It's true. There you go. I don't know. Oh, fair.
Well, everyone. Welcome to February. We still haven't managed to crack how to do a fucking open yet, but one day.
We never will.
Stay tuned for episode 100, where we might get a structured sentence.
Well,
don't hold your breath.
here we are, episode 20, boys. Into the double digits have turned a new leaf.
We've graduated from teens. We're now in the
20s.
Yeah.
One more until we can legally drink in the States.
Indeed.
Yeah, but why would you want to legally drink in the States? Just go to the UK. 18, man.
Oh, I don't even drink in the UK anymore.
Oh, it feels bad.
So
what's everyone been up to?
So
Stuff.
did you ever see what happened in the gaming news? This is like hot gaming news, everyone. 2 weeks after. No, more like 4 weeks after. Spoilers. Sony bought Bungie.
It sure did.
I really don't know what this is going to actually bring to the table. I really don't.
No, I was very confused by this because obviously, like Microsoft and Bungie, their like biggest thing is Halo. But how does that work with Sony? Because Sony's not going to have Halo.
The only thing I can think of is Destiny, because that's all
Destiny's
Bungie.
the only one I can think of.
That
Yeah,
Bungie have
same
done
here.
recently, but
And who gives a fuck about that?
a lot of people do. I not played it, but I know a lot of people that love it. But
See, for my experience, the people that say they love Destiny, they're more sort of like they like playing it begrudgingly. Like it's like they defended the game when it came out, even though it's not that good. But they're in too deep now, so they've got to pretend to keep liking it.
Well, you mean like the love-hate relationship with what some people have with Overwatch?
Yeah,
Although Overwatch seems a bit more brought together. I mean, I don't really know anything about Destiny, so I can't really say I've got an opinion of it.
Well, I see a lot of people on Twitch like they keep playing all these same multiplayer games, like say like Overwatch and Destiny, but all they do is bloody moan about it. It's like if you don't like it, stop playing it. Do something else. For the love of God, don't just moan about kill death ratios or whatever. Just do something else.
gamers,
Go and play Silent Hill.
that is just a lot of gamers in general. A lot of, especially British people, we love to moan.
Yeah,
So,
we love a good moan.
And gamers also do. They'll moan over it and then be like, "Oh, I've just played 10 games in a row." You know?
Yeah, so it's like if you hate it that much, why are you playing it?
Like, well, it's all I'm used to. Well, I don't know.
Stubbornness. That's
Yeah.
what we're known for as well.
But I'm hoping there's some good from the Sony Bungie deal. But as you say, I don't know. It feels such a left turn. It doesn't feel like I'm not saying it was a good. Doesn't seem like a good deal, but it just seems so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like they've tried to retaliate, but with like buying the smallest studio they could. It's like, well, we've just bought at Tesco's. Oh yeah, well I just bought a Tesco's Meal Deal. Yeah, it's not quite the same, is it?
It's like suddenly you have like, look, Halo comes to PlayStation. It's like, wait, what? But
Don't
no,
think so.
that wouldn't. But I say that, who knows? You never know what I'd assume that Microsoft have the rights. So despite Bungie doing the first 3 or however many they did, they wouldn't be able to put it on PlayStation anyway.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's how it's going to work. I mean,
Yeah.
any sort of new games which Bungie puts out, I guess that all comes under the Sony IP.
Yeah.
It seems kind of weird because when like Microsoft did their announcement, there was like, all these big franchises we can have, and it's like a big show about it, and all different franchises you can look forward to. Whereas PlayStation bought Bungie with like no fanfare whatsoever. They didn't do like a big show like parading all the things you can look forward to.
No, it's just like, oh yeah, we got Bungie.
I saw a few funny memes going around. I was like, But
I ain't seen any.
I know we've spoken about Game Pass. There is been rumours of Sony and doing something similar. It's got a code name right now called PlayStation Spartacus, but there's nothing.
That's such a stupid name.
I say it's a code name. code name. So don't know what it's actually going to be called, but that's what it's the code name for it.
Spartacus is going to cost you £300 a year for both services. That's literally what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Hold on. Spartacus sounds like it should be the name of the next God of War game.
God of Spartacus, or Spartacus being the God of War?
Both. Fuck it. Kratos goes to Tesco's to get a meal deal. Chaos.
You just
Atreus, hick boy, do not wander from the aisles.
And the boy just goes, "I'm Spartacus." It's like, "No, you're not, boy."
Fetch me a packet of McCoys, boy.
From what it's actually called, the boy.
Atreus,
that's what he's called. It popped into my head the other day, and then I was like, and then it just popped out again. But come on, Brandon, what's your experience playing it? Because
I picked up God of War. It came with the PS5 as part of the no, it's the PS Plus collection, isn't it?
It is.
Or you tell me.
Yes, so. Well, I can't remember. I know. I started playing it once I got my PS5, and obviously, I hear so many people saying like how good God of War is, and like every time I've been to Comic-Con, you always see someone dressed up as Kratos. So I thought, okay, let's give it a go. Because, right, let's just rewind a couple weeks before that. Actually, I went around my girlfriend's, and her stepdad was playing God of War. So I had a look at it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll probably give that a go. It looks, like role-play, you level up. So I thought, okay, I'll give that a swing. Because obviously, real fans of Souls-like games, so I thought, okay, it might be something similar to that. And I started playing it. Yeah, you can tell it's Souls-like in terms of, okay, it's a very difficult game. But it's not grindy. Like, you have to complete certain areas to get experience. Like, you kill a group of enemies, then you get the experience. But I do like the exploration of it. So, like, you go around as, like, these, like, is it Odin's or Thor's birds? One of the two, like the collectibles around the map. You got the blacksmiths dotted around where you can upgrade your gear. So it's been quite a good ride. Animation wise, is beautiful. Well, I say animation wise, like just the world building is very, very beautiful. So like when you see the Ouroboros, or the big white serpent, and he starts speaking, I thought that was incredible. And then the Dark Elves. That's as far as I'm at the moment, Chris. If you've played it, I'm at the point with the High Elves and the Dark Elves.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're still, I think you're only about a quarter of the way in.
Yeah, so I've only just started to... Well, I need to go... But yeah, I've just picked up the light. So I'm guessing we're on the way back to get rid of that shadow thing that's blocking the path up the mountain.
While I'm thinking about it, like, we mentioned a couple of weeks back the game Godfall. Yeah. And I did make passing reference, at least I think I did, to how it was like trying to be God of War. Do you see what I mean, like, graphically? How it was very similar.
Graphically, and even like, yeah, it's just everything is sort of like God of War, but I don't know why Godfall just feels grindy for some reason. I mean, like graphically, it looks incredible. The combat's just very repetitive, and I would have thought, okay, you've got all these cool armor sets, like surely they'd vary up the animations and stuff or make them more unique, but it just doesn't.
It astounds me how the screen can look like so busy and yet it's so bland at the same time.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to say it's going on. It's like an unseasoned ramen. Like, there's a lot going on in that bowl, but there's just no flavour.
It's like an unbuttered ham sandwich from a Tesco Meal Deal.
Actually, this is gonna be probably a hot take, but I don't have butter on my sandwiches.
Do you not?
No, I just have mayo. I put mayo in so many of my sandwiches. Like cheese mayo, cheese onion mayo, ham mayo. Obviously, I draw the line when it comes to sausages because that has to be brown sauce or red sauce.
I think we should swiftly move on from your experience with sausages and mayo before things go south.
You dirty fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is why I'm on the show. To bring the tone down and make you guys look better by comparison.
Yeah, but you're the one you're the one that like bringing it into context. I'm here saying about innocent sandwiches, and you're bringing in mayo into the sausages. So come on.
Innocent movies part of the meal deal? I don't know.
Yes, they are.
Actually, okay. Back on this topic. That's the only time I will ever buy those. I'm not paying £2.30 for like a single suit movie when I could basically get it for collectively with other bits of food for £3.
See, I got a tactic with a meal deal. I always go for like the bottles of pop where you get like 600ml instead of 500.
I always go for like the most expensive smoothies because I'm just like, I'm not going to buy these. unless they're like massively on offer.
You know what I do? I buy water.
Oh, there's always one. There's always one.
So yeah, God of War. God of War.
God of War.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's a game. Yeah, I rather enjoyed it. You've not played the originals, have you, Brandon?
No, I haven't. That's literally my first exposure to it.
No, so what you gotta bear in mind is the new God of War. Well, I say new, Ragnarok will be out soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, the other God of War games are absolutely nothing like this one, gameplay wise. They are more akin to the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah, the hack and slash.
Yeah, happen slash. A couple of platforming puzzles, but there's not like a massive emphasis on it. And there's like hidden chests from like, and it does like the thing with like fixed camera angles. So there's like hidden like nooks and crannies like behind pillars, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's sneaky.
Yeah, it's sneaky, but it does encourage exploration. But it's not like you can really get lost or anything. It's all the games are like linear. It's just like the hidden bits here and there. But yeah, they're all really good games though. I highly recommend every single one.
Right, this could sound really stupid, but is the main character from the original God of War still called Kratos?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still Kratos. Yeah.
How? Beardy Kratos looks so better. Wait, that's so good English.
But he had a beard in the original.
Yeah, but he looks a bit more. It looked a bit more square.
Oh, that was PS2 for you.
Yeah.
Wait, PS2?
PS2.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're that old. They're that old.
Oh, gee. All right, that's it. I busted up in Google. I need to see this.
Yeah. So yeah, if you look at Kratos with like the all the body decorations and the pointy beard, it screams 2000. It really does.
That's God of War. Is that God of War 2 with the things in the middle? It looks like a 2.
Well, there is a 2 on the.
God of War 2, yeah, there's God of War 2.
Yeah.
Where's God of War 1 then?
It's because
God
God of War.
God of War. I know, but it gets
I
confusing.
I literally typed in God of War PS2 and it just comes up with God of War 2. I'm just like, where is God of War?
Well, it's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kratos has like goatee, so he looks like, you know, the guy from System of a Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Surge tanking.
So it looks like Surge tanking.
I was thinking more of the guitarist at first because he's bald and got the little beard.
Yeah, I know
him.
one. Whose name I can never
Yeah.
remember. Even though I've seen System like 6-7 times. Oh well. Yes, I really do enjoy God of War. It's a very good game. Although if the ending sort of comes out of nowhere, I guess.
No spoilers.
No, I won't spoil it. But I remember playing it and putting it down in like a certain session and thinking, oh, I've still got a little way to go. And then like I picked it up and I played it for like half hour and then beat the game. And I was like, oh, okay. Then. I was like, oh yeah, you do have like the big sort of climactic fight, but the game's full of climactic fights, and this one is like, I was like, oh, that was it, was it? Because the game goes on like a little bit after you've had this climactic fight, so you assume there's just like more game, but then before you know it, like the credits are rolling. It doesn't like end in like a big boss fight. You have the boss fight, and then there's like another 5 minutes of gameplay, so, and it's like, oh, then it's the end. It's like, oh, okay. I thought there would be more.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It is a good game. I never found it hard though, like you say, but
I think it's probably because I've not actually started the game on the normal difficulty. I think that might be the reason why.
Well, maybe it's also because you said like always, it's like a bit Souls-like and not maybe a little bit from like the camera angle, but
it's I mean Souls-like in terms of, you know, dodge mechanic, parry mechanics.
Yeah, there's some of that. Yeah, I think we're just like hardwired in such a way to play a game. It's like Souls, and if any game has mechanics that aren't like Souls, it just confuses us. We don't.
Yeah, it's like, what is this contraption? Like, what do you mean you can't parry in Pokemon? Like, what is this?
Yeah, what is this bullshit? Why aren't I fat rolling Sonic the Hedgehog? What's going on?
Like, come on, I'm holding like 200 rings. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, should be over encumbered by now. Blimey.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I've been up to this week, is actually sinking my teeth into God of War and, you know, quite enjoying it.
Nice. Well, hold on to something, guys. I actually played a game that I haven't spoken about on the podcast.
Ooh.
Skyward Sword.
I finally re-picked up after I stopped playing it um, many months ago. Rise of the Tomb Raider on PS4.
And how are you getting on?
Did you get a rise out of it?
Oh yeah. So I was already a bit of the way through when I booted it up again. So I don't know how far I am through it. Might be halfway. I don't know but it was nice to come back to it. Like I was saying to you in our chat, I played an hour, and instantly when I booted it up, I was like, I don't remember the controls on this. I was like, I got into a gunfight and instantly died like 3 times in a row, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to learn these controls again. and then just I've been like playing quite a bit more. I've been more just like going back through like the different areas on it and getting the collectibles and doing like little missions where you get like extra weapons and that instead of doing the main plot. But I'm looking forward to playing it, like picking up again and just going through it some more. But I don't know if I know you said you had Chris. You've played
Yeah.
them.
Yes. So of the reboots, I've played the first one, and I've got about halfway through the second one, and just put it down. I wasn't getting that much into it. And am I right in thinking the second one is Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Yes.
Yes. So she rises after she's already had the first game, which really should have been called the Rise of.
Yeah.
She raised and then she risen a bit more.
Yeah, like the second one is like all about her like father and like whatever he was chasing, and it's like the divine source. So it's like her trying to find that for her. Well, I say spoilers, but I think if you know Tomb Raider, her parents are dead. So yeah. For her dead father, so well, it's been nice to come back to it. To be honest, I think I was a bit like it was in the back of my mind. I needed to pick it up, but life just got in the ways, and I stopped playing it. But it's been nice to pick it up again, and I'm looking forward to sitting down with it. I think the first one I prefer, but I'm enjoying the second one.
Yeah, I know I did. Okay. I don't really know why I preferred it and why I put down the second one. I think I just got distracted by other things. But the first game I just played all the way through, and I was pleasantly surprised with it.
I've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so once I've finished Rise, I'll just scooch on over to the third and final one.
All I've heard from the third game is it's pretty meh. I think it's basically just more of the same, but they don't really do much with it.
I've heard that it prioritizes the puzzles a lot more than the action, so it probably feels a bit more Zelda-like puzzle-wise than because I feel like the second one has been a lot more action-focused than even the first one. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I think when it comes to that type of games, I prefer the Uncharted series.
That's what I want to play after, but I didn't want to just pick up Uncharted. I started playing Uncharted 1 before, and then my copy decided to go, I'm not going to work anymore. So I've not played any more since. But I've got it on PS4, all 4 of them. Once I finished Tomb Raider, the Survivor trilogy of Tomb Raider, I'm then going to go through all 4 Uncharted's. I say 4. Obviously, you got the spin-off as well, but I'm going to go through the core, the Nathan Drake games, the 4 Nathan Drake games.
Yes, actually, it's a good time to bring up Uncharted because they've just re-released another collection
Yeah.
of the new Uncharted games, and I think by the time this episode comes out, the Uncharted film will be in the cinema.
Yes. And
So I will go and check that out.
so will I. Although I think the top comment I've seen is, you could call this anything else and you wouldn't even realise it's Uncharted.
Yeah, as much as I like Tom Holland, I don't really buy him as Nathan Drake. He should have been played by Nathan Fillion.
I'm glad you said that, because that was literally what my next words.
Yeah, the character of Drake is Nathan Fillion.
Indeed.
It should have been him playing. Why isn't he doing it? Oh well, never mind.
Brandon, have you had any experience with either Tomb Raider or Uncharted?
The only exposure I've had to Tomb Raider is PS1 version with the box chest, and that's as far as I know regarding Tomb Raider. I've barely seen any of the films. I've barely done anything with the games, and Uncharted I've never touched. So I literally have nothing to do with it, unfortunately. But it's not something which necessarily appeals to me, though.
I'm not sure without checking, but I think the Uncharted games might be on the Plus collection. I do highly recommend
I've got Uncharted 4?
Oh, that's a pretty good one. Among Thieves.
I think it's 4. It's either
No,
4 or 3.
Thief's End.
Thief's End, that's it.
Yeah, I think Among Thieves
Yeah.
is the second one. 'Cause you got
Okay.
Drake's
Yeah.
Fortune, Among Thieves. I can't remember what the third one's called, and then A Thief's End. I don't even played them all. I'm like naming them.
From what I understand, looking at the trailer for the Uncharted film, it looks like it takes a few action set pieces from the series.
Yeah.
But the overall plot itself is based more on A Thief's End, because he mentions his brother. There's a shot of a pirate ship, and that's the ending to the fourth.
Spoilers.
Oh no, it's literally the entire plot. So.
Yeah. No.
What actually is the gameplay style of Uncharted? Because like I said, I've not played it ever.
Third person shooter action. A little bit like
Platformer.
Yeah. A little bit
They're a bit like I don't want to say Gears of War, but some of the shootouts feel a little similar to that. But there's a lot of platforming, like the Prince of Persia.
Or
I've
Assassin's
played
Creed.
that. I've played
Yeah,
a little bit of
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's.
It's better than that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do recommend them, Ren. The storylines are really solid in all of them. That's pretty much what makes them. They're all they are basically Indiana Jones films.
Yeah.
You play more for the story than anything else.
Yeah.
Right, is it one of these bullshit games where you, for some reason, have infinite ammo, or do you pick weapons up as you go?
Oh no, you do pick the weapons up as you go. There's no infinite ammo or anything like that.
I was going to say, thank God.
In fact, how it works is you don't have weapons you just start thing and the encounters with. You literally when you kill enemies, they drop their pistols and shotguns. You pick up theirs,
Okay,
and
cool.
the ammo varies on what they've got. And you only carry 2 weapons at a time. You carry a bigger one and a shorter one. It's a pistol and a shotgun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Noted. I kind of like that because there's more than enough ammo to go around, but it incentivizes you to try each weapon as you go along, because you'll find different weapons in different places when it kind of makes sense. So you've been fighting heavily artillery guys, so they'll drop machine guns and rocket launchers, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's fun.
Cool.
Well, come on, Chris. Don't keep us all waiting.
Come on,
Tell us.
I've already said a list. I've already mentioned the word today. Tell us about Pokemon.
Oh, everyone wants to know about Pokemon, right? Well then, once upon a time back in 1996. Oh wait, that's too far. You want to know about Pokemon Arceus, don't you?
Yes.
Fine.
Pokemon Legends
Fine.
Arceus. Tell us.
Well then, there is a game called Pokemon Arceus, and it's on the Switch. Do you want me to go into more detail?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fine. Yes. So, Pokemon Arceus, or Pokemon Legends Arceus, should I say? But nobody fucking calls it Pokemon Legends. Everyone just calls it Pokemon So it's kind of set in like a rural sort of feudal Japan, kind of. But I feel the plot messes up a lot straight off the bat because your character's like sent through a wormhole from like modern day.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit of a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It took like on stream. It took like 2 hours to get past the fucking tutorial just to get to the actual game. Yeah, it seems like it's a plot hole. Well, not plot hole. Plot point that just doesn't need to exist. It's like why can't we just be from this time and we're just making the Pokédex? Why is this a thing?
Chris, I saw a really weird meme about this. I was like, I didn't understand. So, but it was basically going that the main, it was basically saying that the main male character in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and the female character in Pokemon Legends, their child is one of the the female, and then that it was just like really. I was like, what? I don't know.
Yeah, you confused me already. What?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try and find this meme, but you just carry on. I'm gonna find this meme though.
Why Dan has a stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically the entire plot point is you fall out of the sky. You start talking to the Pokemon professor who wears a silly hat because of course he does. And then the plot from there is basically, we're making this thing called the Pokédex. And since you fell out the sky and know nothing about Pokemon, and you're only a kid, plus we should really give you some serious medical attention, and you need to go home, you seem like a perfect candidate to do all 100 hours of busy work for us. So, yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Also, the characters are obsessed with potato maki. They eat nothing else. Like there is so much dialogue about potato maki. Like nearly every other fucking cutscene's got them talking about potato maki.
What?
And even in an advert, a scene for it where they're doing like a MasterChef thing, where there's like a Munchlax in it. They're talking about potatoes, and I'm not sure if it's only me that's made the connection, but I'm pretty sure I can't be. It's like, why are they obsessed with potato maki? What's going on? To the point, I was like, I have put in the right game, haven't I? I have put in Pokemon. I'm not like Potato Legends Arceus. But no. Anyway, gameplay wise. So you have like one hub village, like Jubilee City. You've got like your Pokemon headquarters there. You got like just like a strip where you've got like several shops, as you normally expect from a Pokemon game. You got NPCs who you do actually do side quests for, but I won't sugarcoat it. They're all pretty much fetch quests. It's like, oh, I really want to see a Magnemite. Oh, I really want to see a Shinx. It's like, so you just go out and catch one and just come back with it and say, there you go, there's your Magnemite. So, and I go, wow, I've never seen one before, even though there's like one literally sat next to me and there's hundreds of persons in the field and we've lived alongside them for hundreds of years. But yeah, I've never seen one before. Yeah, the writing's not stellar. I'll give it that. So the gameplay loop is a lot of dialogue, even more dialogue. You go from point A to B to go to the main area. You have more dialogue, and then if you're lucky, about 3 hours later, you get to go into the open world. And that's when the game is actually good, when it actually like lets go of your hand. And say, oh yeah, you know how we keep hammering it home that you've got to fill in this Pokédex? Well, now we're going to let you do it. So, I would say at this time of recording, I haven't finished it yet. I have played it for about a solid 12 hours or so, probably a bit more. And I'm told the game is about 30 hours or so long, give or take. But this game will keep you busy for a hell of a long time. So, obviously you go into like the wild. It's kind of like the wild area from like Sword and Shield in feel, but you catch Pokemon in real time. Like you hide in the grass, you like sneak up on them, throw Pokeballs at them. If you hit them from behind without them noticing you, you're more likely to catch them. And there's like a rank system in the game. Like for every Pokemon you catch, and for like certain different goals that you tick off, you get points. When you get amass so many, you go up a rank. And when that happens, you get like access to like Great Balls, Ultra Balls, that kind of thing. So there is a sort of leveling system. Now the reason I say why it can take absolutely ages is because for every Pokemon, they've got like a Pokédex page, but it isn't as simple as just like catching one and using them in a fight. No, there are about 6 different things you've got to do for each one. And normally, like the first one is catch at least 25. Catch so many without them spotting you. Use so many in a fight. Like beat so many in a fight. Normally about 25, 30. See them use a certain move X amount of times, or like catch them in a specific way. It's like, Jesus Christ! It's like, and this is for like every single one. It's like, bloody hell! I'm never gonna do all this. This is complete busy work. I'm sure people will, but I'm not gonna be one of them. It's like, Jesus Christ! How many times do you want me to catch the same sodding Pidgey, which I'm never gonna use? Just boot out the moment I get it. Chance. But if you want that max level and want all the experience, you gotta do this stuff. But so far, I've got by just fine by just not going massively out my way. There's like any like sort of walk by, any need like I think, oh, I've not got one of those. I'll catch me one of those. If there's a couple around and I've got the supplies, then I will catch a few more, fight a few more, depending on the situation. You still have a team of 6 in your party, and as per normal. And combat is still turn-based. It's just like your character can still move around. So it gives it like the feel that it's not, but it totally is. Totally just like a normal Pokemon fight.
It might be a little bit like Ni no Kuni to some extent.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played those games, but yes, pretty much. The only sort of difference is it's got instead of like going back and forth like you normally do, it's got more of sort of like Final Fantasy X sort of battle system going on, where like a turn order roster.
Okay.
And you can use your moves and they can use theirs, but when the Pokemon uses a move so many times, it does what it's called mastering. And if you do that, you get given the option to like do a move, either what they call agile style, which does less damage but is quicker. So, and if your speed stat's high enough, you might be able to like pull that off twice before they get a go. And then you've got like your strong style as well, which is like the opposite, which I think like hits like twice as hard, but then your opponent can probably go twice before you do. So you got to trade it off. Normally, depending what you're trying to do, because you can still catch Pokemon in battle. I find you're normally better off sticking with agile style if you're trying to not knock out the Pokemon, just weaken it down, and then using your strong stuff to try and one-shot stuff in other fights. That's been my experience. But yeah, that is pretty much the same gameplay loop. On like each like open world, it's like because each open world is like broken down into chunks, which I believe there's like 5 areas. So far, the ones I've been to have been a little bit samey. It's basically like a forest area, a sort of swamp foresty area, a sort of beach foresty area. A lot of trees. There's a lot of trees. But yeah, I am having fun. I was worried it would get repetitive after seeing the Pokédex and saying, I've got to catch that many fucking stars. Piss off. I mean, if it was Onyx, yeah, I'll get me an army of Onyxes. Fine, no problem. I'm cool with that. But I ain't doing that for every single Pokemon. God, no. But I find if you're going from like A to B, like following the main storyline, and just like catching as you go, whatever you walk past, or something catches your eye, and if you do that, then you're pretty much golden. It don't feel repetitive. But yeah, I am enjoying it. I think my full verdict will come out when I've finished it. Yeah. I might just get completely burnt out, or probably not even finish it if the game says, "Oh, you've got to be such a higher level. Like you've got to be like rank 10 to do this, which will require hundreds of hours of grinding. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But so far, it's been okay.
I think I've seen. I think IGN said they completed it in about 16 hours. So
Yeah, I think if you just stick to the main plot line, don't do much. Yeah, probably about that.
I sent the meme.
Sent the meme.
Yes.
The meme?
Yes.
So he has. What's the meme say? Let's blow it up.
Wait, what?
Yes.
This is a bit.
Even I'm like, wait, what? I'm assuming Chris might know more now.
There seems to be missing many descendants. So what Dan has sent to us is a picture of basically what you said earlier, like both genders from the past and the present paired up, and like they're the parents of like the main characters in Diamond and Pearl. But I think there might be a couple of 100 years between those. They don't just directly.
Right, it just says descendants. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of descendants. So we can all assume that they all look the same. It's like hundreds of years. It's like, Grandma, why do you look exactly the same as me?
Wrong genes.
Also, why are you 10? Because, you know, aging's not a thing in the Poke universe.
No.
No. If we just look at Ash Ketchum.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm getting the game probably when this episode drops. I might have it. It's sold really well, so I sadly didn't pre-order it prior, so I've ordered it now. But because it's sold really well, it's coming a bit later. But I think all right for me. I've got life is a bit busy for me. So it's nice only focusing on Rise of the Tomb Raider and just a few other little things for now until Pokemon Legends comes.
I'm just waiting with bated breath for Elden Ring. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm gripping on.
Only a few more weeks, Brendan.
Well, Brandon, if you're like Chris, you could have something to savour that. In a very different form.
A what?
Yeah. You know, you want some Soulsborne, but there could just be another way you could get that. Get some new...
Oh yeah, you could play it on the PlayStation 1, couldn't you, Chris?
Yeah.
You could, and by PlayStation 1 I mean on PC. So, if nobody has seen... In fact, if I'm really, really nice on the Facebook page, we might even leave a download link, because it's completely free. Because, you know, we're nice like that. Yes, so, there has been this one man, whose name I do not know, did not look up, but I really should have done that. But I didn't, so we're just going to have to roll with it, I'm afraid. But, if you go onto itch.io, there is a version of Bloodborne that has been demade, and it's been made to look like it's a PS1 game. If I had to draw a comparison, it probably looks more like Nightmare Creatures than anything else I can think of. But it is essentially the Yharnam area of the game.
I was about to ask, is it the full game?
It's not the full game, no. But I've played it for about 3 hours, give or take. Okay, so world building wise, it's the same plot. They've remade like the cutscenes. Like I think they may have used the voice samples from the PS4 game, but all the graphics are like PS1, and it's got everything. It's got like the shimmering graphics where they sort of wobble. You know what I mean? Like but the level design isn't 1-to-1. The level design is slightly different. I mean, you'll know each area, but it's not exactly the same layout, because I think it's trying to cope with like the limitations of the hardware they're using. So each bit is like a bit more sandboxy, and instead of like being seamless, each area is like broken up by a loading screen, which
okay, that actually gives it the feel then.
Yeah, so each little section is like a couple of rooms is like its own little sandbox, I guess. Just broken up by a loading screen, and then you go to another bit. So somewhere like Yveska's clinic, where you start off, that room where you spawn and the werewolf, and like one side room is like one area, but there's like a ladder and rafters which weren't there originally. Fetch it out a bit more, and then when you go out into the streets, that's like its own loading area. And then that area is like the front bit and like the first sort of lantern, and then like half of the main street you go up, if you know the level design. But yeah, it's not exactly the same though. You'll get a rough idea of where you are going from area to area, but they are not the same. I have got lost a couple. Well, not lost, but I've just been going around going, where the hell am I now?
Disorientated is the word.
Yeah, because you're assuming somewhere's going to lead you to somewhere else, and it doesn't. You're like, where the hell am I now? And basically, like, some areas of it are like brand new. Like, I've gone into like a sewer area, and it's like a poison floor, and it's like, well, that's obviously not in the original. But I have beat one boss. I've managed to beat the cleric beast, and he looks great on PS1 graphics.
Yeah, I've just seen a picture of it. It looks very intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm too curious now. I've got to have a look.
I just threw a fuck ton of Molotovs at it. Well, what I do like about it though is that little loading screen when you go between areas. I find it quite beneficial because it also spawns all the enemies back, and you don't like have to go back to the Hunter's Dream every time to do that. So I'd actually say it makes like leveling up and grinding that little bit quicker, because you can just like go in that area where there's a street with a load of huntsmen in it, and just like run away and then just load straight back in again, do it all again, which is nice. Although some of it is trying to keep it exactly how the aesthetics would be on the PS1, so you don't change your weapon like in real time. You like have to like press start and like go to a menu and like toggle it, and you've got like a whole sort of equipment menu thing going on, which is like not how it works at all in the normal one. But the whole thing feels janky, but like on purpose. If that makes sense. It's it does make it really does make it feel like it is a game that would have been out at the time, like back in '98. I give it really high praise though. I think they've done a fantastic job of it, and it's free. Can't argue with that. Free Bloodborne. That's I'd vote for anybody who promised free Bloodborne. So yeah, it's a highly recommended. If I have one critique with it, it's the controls. There's like no analog support for moving. It's all on the D-pad, and you use like the shoulder buttons to rotate the camera.
Oh come on, that just literally makes it more PS1 though. Exactly. If there's no analog, so that's
Indeed.
good.
It just takes a bit of getting used to, but once you get there, it becomes like second nature. It's like if you like pick up like an old N64 controller, and you're thinking, how the hell did I control the first-person shooter with one analog stick? But after like half hour, you sort of click with it. It's kind of like that. The first like 10 minutes of me playing the game and seeing if I can bare hand that werewolf at the beginning, like I normally do, flawlessly every time I play Bloodborne. Yeah, didn't go so well this time. I was either hitting at nothing or just pressing the wrong button entirely. So yeah. Although, I will give one little secret though. If you do boot it up, if you go to like the door that's right behind you as you spawn in, and you got to do it straight away because you don't get a chance otherwise. If you go to the door behind you and try to open it 100 times, there is an Easter egg, and quite a sizable one. So it's worth doing just for that. But then you might want to load up a different save.
Oh, that.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
So it could be a dangerous one then.
It's not dangerous. It's just well, it's just basic. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. Just give it a go. If you boot it up, give that a go first, and then like load up another character and then start again. It's worth it.
Well, I can't imagine Brandon's gonna, with his house and stuff. He's not gonna look at it for a while.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get around to it. Like literally right now, while we're recording this episode, I'm currently shredding all bits of paperwork which I've just had stored in my cupboard, and I've literally just found a bank statement from 8 years ago. So I'm literally just shredding this to pieces, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, I've got less money now than what I did 8 years ago.
So how many meal deal receipts have you shredded as well in that time?
I can now buy under 800 meal deals.
Oh dear.
It's
Effing chef.
kind of dire. Situation is dire.
Well, Brandon, although you've been you're shredding bank statements, you have been shredding maybe some duel lists.
Yeah, so obviously I spoke about Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist like when the podcast was first sort of in its infancy. But a couple of weeks ago, Konami released another Yu-Gi-Oh! Game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So it's a take on Legacy of the Duelist, but rather it being just pure like Legacy of the Duelist, absolutely fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh! Game in terms of like retelling the anime, like really, really good because you could play both sides, absolutely incredible. And then you got like a challenge one where you can fight that duelist using a specific deck. So like Weevil, rather than using his like perfectly ultimate great moth, will then go to use like the insectoid style deck. Rex Raptor will go from using his dinosaurs to go using the evil swords and evilites. So it's really, really cool like that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, it seems to be more orientated. Like there's a little bit of like gimmicky to it. So like it will tell you like a brief story of like like the Monarch cards, Dan.
Yeah, I think
like what Callum went through and just basically trashed us on that first time we went to play at Geek Retreat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it basically tells you the story about how that deck came to be and what is the lore behind it. So I find that's pretty cool. Like it tells you like the history of some of the decks. But I think they tried to mainly gear it towards PvP aspect rather than story aspect. So it's almost like they don't really give you a choice, but you have to do PvP. I mean, they do stuff like there's daily rewards, like you get deck points when you log in for the day. You get deck points if you win certain times, or if you unlock certain hidden cards. But they don't really give you a clear number on how many cards there are in the game. They just say, there's over 10,000 cards in this game. Yes, but there's over 10,000 cards in the Legacy of the Duelist, which came out a few years ago. So what have they actually added to it? But my biggest gripe with Master Duel compared to Legacy of the Duelist is Legacy of the Duelist has a really, really good user interface. Like when it comes to actually sorting out your deck, you can sort them by card color, whether it's a normal effect, ritual, XYZ, pendulum. You can sort it by star grade, so less than 4, between 4 to 6, 6 to 8, or you can really fiddle with the star ratings you're doing and exactly try to home in. Oh yeah, and something which you could probably take for granted is you can sort your cards alphabetically. Can you do this in Master Duel? No. It's an all-out free-for-all to try and find out, okay, I've currently got 4,000 cards in my box. How do I know what I've got? Like that's probably my biggest gripe, is the user interface is not great at all.
Did you ever play Duel Links?
No. I stayed away from that because it was just a bit...
Well, this just... From... Like, Duel Links, you could do all... Like, you could do what you could do in Legacy of the Duelist. But then at the same time, Duel Links is pay to win.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing for Master Duel. Like Master Duel is pay to win, whereas Legacy of the Duelist is you could just play it for the story, and it will easily take you over 100 hours to play through the story.
Well, they're both Duel Links and Master Duel, aren't they both free?
Yeah, they're both free. So that's the cool thing, is that they're free, like to get in.
But they're both pay to win. Yeah,
they're pay to win because there is actually a ranking system. So like I'm currently bronze 2 because I've just I've won a little bit. No, I'm not even bronze. I'm still in like the baby ranks. But I mean, because my thing with the Yu-Gi-Oh games is I'm either gonna play against someone who actually enjoys the game, or there's going to be no one playing it, because I doubt many people want to play Yu-Gi-Oh online against other people. I don't know if there's that many people who do it. And then you might get the other end of the spectrum where you get the whales who, spent money on it. So you don't know what you're going to end up as.
The whales.
Well, that's literally the terminology you use to describe people who have spent like an exorbitant... All right, I'll just use petty English. A big amount of money to get what they want in a game.
They're like gacha gods.
Basically gacha gods. But I will give them credit. Like, you can get cards very, very fast in Master Duel, and like there's this like SR or there's that super rare, ultra rare system.
Yeah.
But there's one thing which doesn't really make sense to me is that they've got the cards, but every now and then you'll get a card where it's got a slightly fancy frame on it, and they class that as another card. I was like, oh, for goodness sake. Oh, actually, that's just reminded me of something else which I actually really enjoy. Is you can change the background layout of the dual surface. Like, you can turn it so like your dual thing basically looks like a magma zone. You can change your your profile picture. You can change your avatar, which encompasses you. So that's kind of nice, but it's not the cosmetic side of it. It's not really needed.
Like, in Master Duel, who do you play as? Do you play as the characters?
You just play as you. Like, there's no character in it.
Oh, okay, that's completely different to Duel Links. Whereas Duel Links, you play as like Yugi, Sato-Kaiba, whoever, like from all the different Yu-Gi-Oh series.
Yeah, that's the same thing for Legends of the Duelist. Like you can go through the story and play as those individual characters using the decks they would have had at that point in the anime.
Right.
But Master Duel, it's just, I'd say it's just a PvP game with a little bit of story,
Right.
but the story's, it's if you want to find out the lore and like the history of certain decks, I guess.
Right. I don't know. I saw it came up from the sounds of it. I've recently got rid of Duel Links on my PC because I wasn't playing it, and this just to me sounds like I'm not even gonna touch Master Duel now.
Yeah, I mean, I picked it up because obviously it was free. It'll be nice to see what have they done differently from the last Yu-Gi-Oh game, so like Legacy of the Duelist. Like, surely you think, okay, that came out 3 years ago-ish. You'd think, okay, they might, well, probably even longer, but you thought, okay, they'd probably introduce something bigger to it. But it's the fact that the user interface is a complete downgrade, and it makes it so hard to make decks. Like, you just can't categorize cards easily. It's horrible. Like, imagine, it's literally trying to find a needle in a haystack for just a single card. Because you can't sort them alphabetically. You can't sort them by, like, what they do. It's just difficult. It's annoying more than anything. But would I recommend it? Not really. I'd say if you're ever looking for a Yu-Gi-Oh game, like if you're a diehard Yu-Gi-Oh fan, play Legacy of the Duelist. It's an absolutely fantastic game. Really, really, like probably the best Yu-Gi-Oh game available. Really, really good.
Can I just quickly say that the person that made the Bloodborne PSX remake goes by the name Lilith Wolf. I think I've pronounced it right. Lilith Wolf.
Lilith.
I just think it's good to give credit where it's due for such a good product.
Good for them. Good for you, Lilith.
No, I think I played Duel Links quite a bit, but I just got bored, and I think I wanted like a certain deck, and I think it wouldn't have been very good. So I was just like, I just decided to leave it, and like it make you like I would play it and I'd just do it like autoplay. I wasn't even playing, so I was like, why am I even playing this game? So I just got rid of it.
I'll say if you want to like play specific desks, like get Legacy of the Duelist, like because I think you can still play online with it, so you can still it's still that aspect, but there's no incentive to play online, if that makes sense. So, like it's the options there if you want to. Like it doesn't force you to do it, which I like. Like it doesn't shut you behind a wall. Like if anything, the only way to get the cards is you need to farm for deck points and actually just buy the packs using your deck points. So like by either clearing the stories over and over again or fighting the duel challenges or whatnot. So it can take absolutely ages to get all the cards you want, because like there's 10,000 cards. Obviously, ideally, in an optimal world, you want 3 of every card. So effectively, you're trying to farm for 30,000 cards minimum.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like I said, it could easily take you over 100 hours to literally complete Legacy of the Duelist. It is a huge, huge game.
No, I ain't got time for that. No, no way. But I think there's something that all of us have had time for. Is we've all watched quite a few films recently.
Yes, I thought I'd make the effort to watch a film, considering I'm usually either watching anime or playing games.
No,
so yes,
who wants to? Come on, Brandon. You start off
I'll start off because seeing as this is a rare, momentous occasion.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I've got Amazon Prime. I barely use Prime Video apart from if I wanted to watch South Park. So I thought, okay, let's try and contribute to the podcast and actually watch a film. And I decided to watch the film Parasite.
Oh, Parasite the Maxim, that anime?
No, not the anime. although actually, Parasite the Maxim is actually on my rewatch list because I do want to rewatch it. But yeah, I watched Parasite. I heard that it, did really, really well on like reviews. So I thought, okay, let's give it a go. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked the suspense in it, and I was like, at a certain point, like obviously all of you guys have seen Parasite, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it got to the point where you discover there's this other family underneath the basement, and I'm just like, oh, what's going to happen? And then, oh yeah, I was like, literally at one point I was on the edge of my train seat, like, please don't do something awkward. Please don't do something awkward.
Yes, they did something awkward.
It's like, oh, they did something awkward.
That's the plot of the film, everyone. People do something awkward.
Yeah.
The end.
It's my only. I do have a couple gripes with the film though. Gripe number one: it seems like they actioned it very, very fast at the start. So like every day they were like bringing in an extra member of the family, and there wasn't like any sort of like a blooming of that particular role as such. And then you got the fact that the girl that the guy is tutoring, she borderline has Stockholm syndrome, because how the hell can she fall for a tutor that fast? It's like, that just made no sense to me whatsoever. I'd probably say that they're my biggest gripes, is just those two. But apart from that, I really, really enjoyed the film.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll tell you why I enjoyed it. It's a story I haven't seen done before.
Yeah, it was very, very unique.
It was like a weird. Initially, it was like a weird con film, and then it just like the bit under the like the other family kind of had a bit of weird horror vibes to some degree, but the film was also really funny. It just had all these weird aspects to it that just made it really enjoyable.
Yeah, and then like it got to one point like you genuinely like you could feel for the original family, because obviously they're living in poverty, they're trying to make a living, and as any family would do, if you're given an opportunity, you would take advantage of it as much as possible. Like, it's very lifelike like that. And then when obviously their house got flooded, I was like, I feel very bad for them. Like, I actually, even though they're technically evil in the eyes of the law and everything, it's just like, I feel bad for this family. They've literally been flooded. They're literally going to lose almost everything.
Well, that's always a sign of a good antagonist, though. Is like, one, you can understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Although
I
am just very curious, like, how did it take the family in, like, when it was the party in the garden? How did it take him so long to notice this guy with a battered bloody face and a knife to get right the way in? Like, how did no one notice?
Because they were enjoying themselves.
There was cake. Everyone's
Yeah.
distracted by cake. Everyone knows this. And there might have been a balloon as well.
I mean, yeah, it was all going to be revolving around the cake, with the Indian thing, like the Native American Indians. But it's like, how did no one notice? It boggles me.
They did in the end.
I know that. Yeah, well, it's too late.
Yeah.
And not always the way though.
Yeah, I've really, really enjoyed it. Like, considering like how rare it is for me to watch a film, I think I've found a banger.
Well, it is a banger of a film. I went to cinema to watch it with my dad, and it was great. It was weird seeing like that kind of film that in the cinema. Not like the fact that I had like I see anime films in the cinema, but that always felt special. But then to see like quite a popular film with all in Korean with English subtitles in the cinema just felt a bit different.
Was the cinema packed? Because it literally, like, there wasn't really a build up for it. It just came out of nowhere, and everyone was raving about it.
When I saw it, no, but it won. What did it win?
Sundance Awards or something.
No,
some film festival.
It won an Oscar? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one as well.
Yeah, you got best
that's
picture. You got best picture at the Oscars.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do find if you're going to make a film with moving pictures, you better have at least one picture in it. It does help.
Well, come on, Chris. Bring it. What is the film you've I don't even know what the words I'm trying.
What have I put in my eyeballs?
Yeah, I
did you indulge yourself with?
I was on those lines, and I couldn't even think. What did your eye? What did your elven eye see? Oh, Chrysalis.
All right, now you've just put me off now. Because all I can think about is that fucking Lord of the Rings meme.
Yes.
Eggless, what do your egg eyes see? Egg.
Egg.
Yep. It's like, right. So, first off, I've got to mention one film because I was going to mention it in the last episode and just didn't get around to it. And it's a film that one of my close friends have been talking about. So I watched the film called The House on Netflix. And The House is basically it's 3 different stop motion animation films, sort of stitched together, each one being about half hour each. So being the kind of film it is, it's like dips in quality, but overall I enjoyed it. I don't want to really say much because to say anything would spoil it. I think the biggest name in it cast-wise is Jarvis Cocker, the musician. There's a voice in the main character in the second story. But yeah, it's the animation's done really well, and it's a bit out there, particularly in the first one. But each story's like, for lack of a better word, a bit weird.
Yeah, I just had a little look. That seemed really interesting. I might have to check that out.
I'll tell you what. Like, though I didn't find the stories themselves to be all that great, I will remember it for quite a while. It's just out there enough to sort of be memorable. I think I preferred, like as I said, the second story out of the 3. The third one I wasn't that keen on. In fact, I wasn't that keen on the art style on the first one, but it grew on me after a little bit. And it is quite a dark film as well. So it said on the tagline it's like dark comedy, but I didn't really find it to be all that funny. But I did find it to be dark, and I do like a bit of that. Okay, sometimes I do like a bit of that, where there's not always like a happy ending. But honestly, overall, It is a recommendation. If you want something different, then yeah, check out The House on Netflix. And while I'm on the subject of Netflix, since it only came out a couple of days ago on Netflix, I know it's been on telly for I think only a couple of months, if that. But the latest series of Always Sunny in Philadelphia dropped as well, and I fucking love that show. It's like one of my favorite live action shows, like period. It's so funny. So the latest series, it's only got 8 episodes in it, so it's not overly long, and each episode is only like 20 minutes or so. But what I like about it more than the other ones is just it's really fucking funny. Like every episode is fantastic. Because I do find with like a lot of like American humor, there's like a lot of episodes in each series, and for my money, you can just scrap like half of them. Like overall, the series is funny, but half of the episodes is like they seem like filler more than anything. But no, this series just knocks it out of the park. And honestly, I binge watched the whole thing in one sitting, and I want to watch it again because it's great. But what I find even better about this series is the second half, like the last 4 episodes, are basically a film. The all the characters like go to a trip to Ireland for reasons, and that's just like how the first episode of the 4 kicks off. But that gives them an excuse to sort of like go to different places, have like new guest characters in it. The actor Cole Meany, I believe his name is. He's in Anna Partridge After Papa, and he's in Con Air as well, oddly enough. He's got a big role in it. But because of how it's set up, yeah, I said I binge watched it, but I'm really glad I did, because if you do watch it, I say watch the last 4 episodes in one sitting, because it really does feel like a film. Each character like goes through an arc, and they all sort of come together at the end. And yeah, it's not a film; it is just like 4 episodes, but it's really got the scope of one. I do remember them talking about doing an Always Sunny film, and obviously that's not happened. But this feels like a sort of compromise. I don't know if that was the case, but that's certainly how it feels to me. And I really, really highly recommend it. But I'm sure if you're an Always Sunny fan, you'd have checked it out by now anyway. But still, it's good stuff.
Yeah. I watched a bit of Always Sunny, so not that much.
I do love it. It's one of the shows I think it's a bit like Peep Show. How you have like the cast of characters, and as time goes on, they all degrade and become worse people as it goes on. It's like the situations they get in are just worse and worse and worse. Like the relatively like stand-up people when you first meet them, and then through circumstance and over the series, it's just like, oh no, what terrible human beings we've become.
I don't know.
I think it just gets funnier from there.
I don't know. I feel like they're already pretty bad when you meet them.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like the supporting characters, like the character of Cricket, for example. He starts off and he's just a nice priest who like fancies Wanda Cassidy, and he'd do anything for her, and yeah, he does, and it doesn't go well. It really doesn't go well. Yeah, bless. But yeah, Always Sunny, fantastic film.
Film.
One that,
yes,
yeah.
that
film.
film.
As I said, the second half feels like a film. Yeah. Well, they need to make a film of it. Do that one. I'll go watch it. And then the last one I watched, which I believe you've watched as well, The Invisible Man.
I've not. I know of it. I'm debating checking it out. I'm not really a horror fan, but I don't know. I remember this is the new one, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is. I think it was late 2020. It came out early 2021.
Yeah, it was around the first lockdown. I remember when this was advertised, and I think I was taking the piss out of it, and then I saw a review for it, and I was like, wait, this is meant to be really good. Oh, okay. And ever since I've been interested in maybe watching it.
Well, I haven't seen anything about the film going forward, so I'm intrigued by when you said it was very well done. My thoughts, yeah, I wouldn't say horror. I'd say it's more of a thriller. It's got a couple of bits in it you might describe as horror, but I didn't feel that way about it. Honestly, it's an Invisible Man story, but there is a twist, kind of. Honestly, though, I thought it was very predictable and quite by the numbers. I thought it was a bit dull. I could see where it was going. There's not like a massive cast, so it's not like a big twist or anything, like when certain things are revealed. At least I saw it coming anyway. So yeah, I thought it was just a bit slow because the film is like over 2 hours long.
Really?
I don't think it needed to be. It really didn't. I think you could shave half an hour off it easy. There's a lot of long shots, like where they're trying to like build up tension, but for me it didn't work. But other people maybe, but it didn't do anything for me. I was just finding myself starting to get bored. I did stick it out though, but yeah, it's not a recommendation from me. I'm sorry to say. Maybe you'll get a kick out of it because I know a lot of people tend to like more horrors than I do, and I do like horror. But what's the name of the it's on the tip of my brain. I suppose it's got a It Follows. It Follows.
Oh yeah.
I suppose it's got a similar sort of feel to that. Yeah, that's probably the closest I could put it through. But if you're going to watch an Invisible Man film, go and watch Hollow Man. That's got Kevin Bacon in it. It's got terrible, yet at the time really good CGI in it. Kevin Bacon, come on. What more do you want? It's a much better film. I've watched Hollow Man 10 times in a row before I watch Invisible Man again.
Wow. There's a few films. I myself have watched 2 films. So I watched an anime film and I watched a live action film. So I'll talk about the non-anime film first. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. I know you've seen it, Chris. Do you know?
I've seen the film and the
TV
series.
So it's all about 4 vampires living in New Zealand, and it's like filmed as a mockumentary, and it's really funny. It's like all little bits where they all go out clubbing and they have to be invited in because they're vampires.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they can't just walk into any clubs. And then it's just like all taking the piss out of like everything you think of when you think of vampires, and it's just really funny. And it's I see Taika Waititi, who did Jojo Rabbit that Chris spoke about a couple of episodes back, for Ragnarok. I just had a really good time with it.
Yeah, it is a fun film. So the whole thing's shot like a sort of mockumentary, like it's all like adult cam. But there are a lot of good things I like about it. Example, like because they all like live as housemates, but they're all from like different dynasties.
Yeah.
So they all act completely different, have like different dress senses and that.
I like how Taika Waititi's character is just like a little bit like not dainty, but he's a little bit. I don't really know what the word. He's a bit really soft spoken, and then you have. I don't know if the other.
It's a bit of an aristocrat.
Yeah, I don't know if are both the other two I know one of them is, but are they both Flight of the Conchords?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so
I
I'm going
know-
to say yes. And
I
maybe
know at
wrong.
least one of them is, because I recognised him. I wasn't sure if the guy who plays the vampire deacon who has the female familiar. Didn't know if he was or not. But
I'll be honest. It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've seen the film, but I'm now more up to date with this series because it's like follows a different group of vampires.
yeah, I didn't think the series had any of them in.
Actually, it does,
Oh, it does.
but they're not the main focus.
Oh, that's cool.
I'd say it's more of a cameo, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it is like the same formula. The series has got Matt Berry in it. That's one of the main.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
people who like Matt Berry, there you go.
Yeah, you're not a Matt Berry fan.
I don't dislike him, but I don't know. There's something about Matt Berry I don't want to say I dislike about him, but there's something about him that doesn't sit with me. I can never pinpoint what, but I don't think he's bad or anything. There's just something about him. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know why.
So I think he works really well given the sort of role he's got for the vampire.
But then, like, I say that, I love him in IT Crowd. He's so good.
It's a little bit similar to that. It's like why did I become a vampire? It's like so I can fuck forever.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. I do like him. I don't know. Maybe I think all of his roles are the same. Maybe that might be why.
I suppose I get what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Although the series does do one thing that the film doesn't. It introduces like as one of the main characters like a different type of vampire.
Oh, I've heard about this.
One is an emotional vampire.
Yeah.
Who's just like basically like the most boring guy you can ever think of, and he just like feeds on your emotions. So if you ever hang around him, you just find yourself getting really bored and just like drained of life, and he feeds on that instead.
I did enjoy it. I like that. Like when they bring the human into their home, and he's just like doing all the like technology and stuff. It was quite funny.
Yeah, I really like the fact that like their oldest housemate is just down in the basement and he's just like in the coffin all the time. It's like proper Nosferatu.
He's like, "Yo, Peter, we're having a meeting."
He doesn't come up. They just like throw a cat down there every now and again.
So, I can't. He's like, "Vlad, we're having a meeting in 15 minutes." 20.
20 minutes. He just like hisses every now and again. He's basically like everyone's flatmate who like doesn't come out during the day. Like he's just like in his room all the time, and we all know someone like that.
Oh, what? Wait, all three of us?
Yeah, all three of us.
Oh yeah. Bad example. We're a house of Peters.
And then, so I watched that, and then the other film I watched, it's called Belle, which is an anime film. So, if you went to see Spider-Man No Way Home, you would have noticed there was a trailer for an anime film. Well,
I do remember that.
And that was the anime film I went to see. It was... I think I may be a bit kind to it. Because I went with my friend and she turned around to me and she was like... I knew she didn't like it as much as I did. I could tell. I was like... I listened to the soundtrack because when I saw the trailer, I was like, this music's really good. So I listened to the soundtrack a few times, and as I was going through the film, I was like, it's nice to see where this song fits in with the film and everything. But after, when it finished, I turned around and she was like, "This is what I give it on Mal." I was like, "This is what I give it," and I could tell. I may have been a bit kind, but it's essentially Belle is essentially social media Beauty and the Beast. That's essentially what it is.
That's interesting.
But then, like the character, like the main character who is basically, she like loses her mum, so it's all like her trying to get over that as well, and she likes to sing because her music is a big part of the film. And it kind of weirdly starts a little bit like Ready Player One, funny enough. Where, you know how... I know Chris has seen Ready Player One.
I haven't. No.
You haven't?
Nope.
Oh. Never mind.
Mind you, he doesn't know Chris has not seen it.
Oh, maybe not. But it's a little bit like Ready Player One, where it's like, oh, here's a virtual reality world. That's kind of your playground. That's kind of how Belle starts, where it's like you can go into this virtual reality world and be whoever you want. So she goes in to basically become a pop star, and then eventually it leads into meeting the Beast character. But I enjoyed it. I think I like the music quite a bit, so I think I give it props to that. But I think there are a few scenes that definitely moved along a bit too quickly. But I'd happily see it again, but not exactly soon. But I did enjoy it.
I was going to say, all right, just on the topic of scenes moving quickly.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's got nothing to do with that. It was just on the topic of animes. I don't know if you were planning on talking about this, but
No. Oh,
you've
I don't
also
know.
watched another anime this week, haven't you, Dan? Just normal anime about time.
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah. I finally watched Steins Gate. The original Steins Gate. I tried to watch it last year. No. Yes, I can't remember when I started trying to start watching it. Yeah, I think it was last year. I can't remember. And I got 2 episodes in and stopped, and now finally I've fully watched the first season. Yeah. It's fucking amazing.
It is, isn't it? It's so good. It's just the premise and the mystery. I love the mystery in it. Really, really love the mystery in it.
So, Steins Gate, I think I've watched it because I've seen the name. And it's like I've watched that. And now I'm thinking about it. It's like I am thinking of the right series, right? That's the one with time travel and
Yes.
The time traveling microwave, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, yes, I have seen it. Yeah,
It's a very, very strange concept if you say it
I-
to someone who doesn't know what it is.
I think that's what sold me on it. It's like time travel in a microwave. Yeah, go on. I'm up for that. But from what I remember, it sort of like loses focus more on the time travel and goes into more of a love story, doesn't it?
I wouldn't really say it's a love story. It's just the mystery of like, why does she keep dying? Like, what's going on? Like, why does it not matter what we do? Why is she still dying? So I found that quite interesting because I was trying to figure it out. I was just like, why does she keep dying? I couldn't figure it out until they actually showed it.
I know.
I thought that was pretty nifty.
I think it like I really enjoyed it, and I thought it like builds on like time traveling and like changing like things. Obviously, for people who don't know, the way how the time travel in Steins Gate works is that they send like either a text message, or they like basically move their kind of consciousness into like a previous iteration of yourself in like a different I say universe, but like a different world. So you don't physically go back in time, you mentally go back in time, and then you switch worlds.
Only he's able to do it.
Yeah, well, he's the only one who remembers.
Yeah.
It's not like so he's the only one who remembers going back in time. But yeah, and it like obviously you make this microwave that can do this, and then like all the core characters are like changing little things in their lives. So like one character sends an email back in time to save her father, for example. Like I liked a lot of the where it was had like kind of focused on each character as it went forward, and then it just kind of and then it gets to like the halfway point gets to this moment where, as Brandon mentioned earlier, like a character just starts dying, and then the main character is trying to save her life, and it's like interesting on the way he's trying to do it. I don't know, in somewhat as much as I it's weird because it kind of folds back on itself to some degree.
What do you mean?
It kind of builds everything up and then kind of unbuilds it.
It unbuilds itself as if it never happened, which is really strange yet cool. Like I found that really interesting. That the ending is basically it never happened.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like I'm like trying to like say, oh, it's not the I like sound as if I didn't enjoy it. I loved it. I was like really intrigued with how it all went, and like I think it is the way like he goes through, sees the deaths time and time again, and he just gets so mentally drained and everything. And through it all, like as kind of Chris mentioned, you have it kind of in some ways, to some degree, I don't want to say it turns into a love story, but like the romance between the main female character and the main character, it obviously blossoms over all the time traveling, and she's his anchor, his rock, and so you can kind of see why. But no, it was a great series to watch. I'm so glad I finally watched it. And I will
Remember
be watching...
why you didn't watch it the first time around?
I think I didn't understand the first 2 episodes very well, and so I think it took maybe. I think I was still a bit confused. Now I'm like, I don't know why I struggled, but I think now I think like the first 3 or 4 episodes kind of set it all up, and it was just trying to move past those first 3 or 4 episodes, and then once I'd gone past them, I was like, this is fine. I just like powered through it like there was no tomorrow. I binged it so quickly, but it was just trying to get through those first couple of episodes where I think those first episodes I wasn't really sure what the hell was going on, but when you know, it's fine.
So when do you think? Oh, sorry, Chris.
Sorry, go on, Brennan.
I was just going to say, when do you think you're going to do the film in the next season? Well, I say the next season, Steins Gate 0.
I'm going to watch the film this week, and then I will start Steins Gate 0 soon after. I mean, as I said to you, Brandon, like last week, I'm a bit in a weird spot with my anime at the moment because I've just finished Steins Gate and I've just finished another one, and I'm in a weird place where I know I could start the second season on the other one, but there's 2 things I want to watch. There's got like some extra episodes I want to watch in between, and Steins Gate is exactly the same. And it's funny enough, both of them are the same length. Like, there's like about 2 hours in between both the first season of both Steins Gate and this other anime before the second season of both of them. So I basically kind of got like, one's like 2 1-hour episodes, and then I've got Steins Gate with an hour and a half film and then an extra episode. So it's just trying to, yeah. But Steins Gate's good. Only other thing is it has the exact same message as Back to the Future.
Don't fuck with time. That's all I can get from it.
Or microwaves.
The future is what you make of it.
Well, the one thing I just wanted to pitch in with Steins Gate, because as I say, it's been a long time since I've watched it. But from what I understand, or remember at least, it's like the whole series wrapped up, and I remember looking at it and thinking, okay, everything's done. But there was like one more episode left, so I put it on, and the whole thing's just like basically the whole bunch of characters just go to the beach and just like have a nice time.
Yep.
From what I wonder, it's like, the fuck was that?
OVA,
Yeah.
probably.
It was it was just an OVA. So like,
Yeah, well, just confused the fuck out of me. I still watched it. But it's like, what?
I mean, quite often I see some OVAs, I'm just like, I'm so glad I watched this. But then there are some OVAs, I'm just like, it's a complete parallel universe to the original series and bears no resemblance.
So, because that's like the only show I've watched that's had anything like that. It's just like the series is done, and then there's just like one more random episode where there's just like, just have a nice day, go and get ice cream or something.
oh, Chris, you sweet summer child. This is Brandon and I just like, as anime people, we know this pain.
Yes, it's a trope I'm not very aware of, but apparently. But what do you mean summer child? I'm born in January.
I'm the closest to being a summer child.
Oh dear.
Well, I guess that'll be us. This is anything else, boys.
I think I'm all good. So we did have another topic, but we've had quite a lot to talk about today, so we shall leave that for another day. So we can probably have a bit more of a thought about it. But we'll keep it a secret as to what it is. You can't see me, but I am winking.
Wink, wink. Nod, nod. Tip the
Taps nose,
fedora.
etc. I don't own a fedora.
No one does.
I do own an inflatable seagull and a hat shaped like a French fries, but I do not own a fedora.
What did you say, Brandon?
I said I wish I owned a fedora.
Oh. I thought you said something completely different.
Do I care to what you think I said?
I thought you said someone's name, and I was like, what?
What? No, I said I wish I owned a fedora.
What's Fred got to do with this? Oh no, you're not going to be one of those people who wants a fedora and like a samurai sword.
No,
just easy tagline or something.
Just a fedora will do.
Fedora, I hardly know her.
Well, that's episode 20, boys. 2-0.
2-0.
That's 40 weeks.
And you know what?
40 weeks.
You can probably get for 20 quid about 5 meal deals for that.
You probably can. You could probably
6.
get 6. But if you add an extra £1, you get 7.
True.
Why did it just sound so metaphorical that we're just saying if you just worked a little harder, you can get another meal deal?
Why
the
fuck are we talking about meal deals so much?
You've got to wheel and deal to get that wheel.
Double and wheel.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I just wanted to like bring it back in some formal way, but it's quite hard to bring up naturally in conversation. Not like Tom Kenny. You can talk about Tom Kenny anytime.
It's just the meal deal meta today on
This
Victory
is the
Retreat
this is the
podcast.
OVA. This is the OVA. We've done the podcast. It's all done now. We're all just going off to get a meal deal and just sitting around for 20 minutes, just waiting.
Well, like always, you can find our social media links on our Instagram, on the actual podcast description, Anchor, always there, on Spotify and wherever you listen to the podcast. Please rate our podcast. Hopefully high.
Yeah, go on. Look, I said it'll be nice. Even on the Facebook, I will leave that link to Bloodborne for you because I'm nice. I want to give something back, and by give something back, I mean plagiarize somebody else's work and pass it off as our own. Shh, don't tell anyone.
I'd say that Brandon and Chris will be streaming. Maybe not.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's me done for streaming until I actually settle into the new house.
And I'm actually having a week's break.
Well, by the time this is out, you won't. But
I'll be back to normal then.
I'll probably still be in the process of moving.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, yeah.
So, we don't know if there might be a slight delay within the next episode, or whether me and Dan might just do something. But we'll put something out for you guys, even if it's just a shitty video on our YouTube channel. Oh yeah, check out our YouTube channel. It's
I was
there.
literally about to plug that as well.
Yeah, we've only got 4 subscribers at the minute. We
5
can do
because I've
better
just
than
done it as well.
that. Yay! Yes, we'll leave a link to that in the Facebook as well. Again, there's only one video on there, and it's just my face, but it's something. Isn't it?
It's a face.
It's a face.
Well, go into night or into the morning or whatever you're doing, and go to that cheeky Tesco Express. Go to that aisle. You know which one I'm talking about. Pick that.
Yeah, the
pick
meal
that.
deal.
Pick your main. Pick your side and pick your drink.
I think you were trying to make it sound more epic than it actually turned out.
Get that meal deal. Get that meal deal.
I want to do it now. And lo, one doth wander down the aisle of meals, and lo, they did get themselves a BLT, an innocent smoothie, and a packet of McCoys. But they only got salt and vinegar because cheese and onion was not available. Ah, the harshness of the Tesco aisle.
I was about to say, don't diss salt and vinegar McCoys. They're freaking bomber.
I actually really like them. I don't know why I picked that flavour, but anyway. I'm not flavour like racist. What the fuck did I say? What is this show?
Victory achieved. There you go.
Oh yeah, I forgot for a second.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Or don't.
Bye Tesco Meal Deal.
£23.99.